All right, welcome back from lunch. We still have people trickling in, so we're excited to introduce this afternoon. This year we decided to do something different, and we talk a lot about innovation in general, but innovation is also in the way we deliver these types of events to you. So we decided to focus the entire afternoon on startups. And I'm delighted to introduce my colleague, Catarina Madeira from the Startup Exchange program. She's the director of that program. And also introduce Stanislas who's with Cap Digital. So we're trying something new this year of combining two different organizations, presenting a different set of startups. But we hope you get as much interaction as you did this morning. Please continue to ask questions using Pigeonhole, so you have access to the QR code. This is part of the afternoon as well for you to interact with us. So with that being said, Catarina, Stanislas, welcome.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here and present you Startup Exchange. So I'm missing the clicker. So Startup Exchange is a program led by MIT Corporate Relations, which is home as well to the Industry Liaison Program, or ILP. The two programs are highly integrated. While ILP primary focus is to take large corporations to MIT and connect them with the Institute's resources, be it faculty, students, research projects, at Startup Exchange, my team starts by identifying and selecting MIT-connected startups, and together with ILP, we connect both parties to help them explore some kind of collaborations or partnerships based on common interests and needs. Our mission at Startup Exchange is to support startups grow and expand to ultimately help them solve the world's great challenges. So the startups supported by our program, all of them must have a very strong connection to MIT. And for that, we call them MIT Connected Startups. This connection might come through the founding team, the technology, or through their affiliation to some of our peers across campus who are open to non-MIT startups. Over lunch, someone asked me how they could be part of our program, and this is a way for non-MIT startups to join us. So if you are affiliated, for instance, to Start.nano, who is open to non-MIT startups, or to the Engine, those are ways for you to then get in Startup Exchange. So today our program has a network of about 1,000 startups. They're all tech-based and they're mostly B2B. And we typically start working with them when they reach pilot stage. I mean, when they have a technology or a product that is ready to be tested or used in real environment. Now, within this broad network, there's a group to which we call Stacks 25, to whom we provide customized support throughout 1 year. This entails mostly increased visibility and connections to industry. Then at the end of the 12 months, they leave the group, but they can stay in the program for as long as they are a startup, and we'll keep onboarding new ones. Now, when it comes to value, startups, part of Startup Exchange, are exposed to a global network of industry and to its decision makers. And here, by industry, I mean mostly ILP corporate members like Group Bouygues. While corporates that engage with Startup Exchange, they have curated access to MIT-connected startups vetted by our team. Everyone in our network can participate at events. Our office organizes over 30 conferences and webinars throughout the year. Conferences are still taking place on a hybrid mode and include startup lightning talks like today. And while some events take place on campus, we do co-design and host events with members, like this symposium. And this is one of the most valuable offers we have for both startups and corporates. For startups, because we bring them to the markets they are exploring or they're aiming to enter, and for corporates, because the events are tailor-made to help them achieve their goals. We also launch calls for startups. These calls are created based on corporates' priorities and internal challenges. We feature them in our website, and any startup from our network can apply to the calls. A typical next step are one-on-one introductions or meetings between the selected startups and the industry. And these curated meetings are also directly requested by members or by STEX25 startups. And having said this, there's something I'd like to highlight, and that is our approach is highly customized and curated. I mean, at Startup Exchange, we work with the startups and corporates that are all different. They come from different sectors, they have different needs, and what sets us apart is that we don't provide a uniform response to their requests. And so we end up working with them in a myriad of different ways. Startup Exchange was created about 8 years ago, and since then, it ignited many successful collaborations. This slide features a very small sample of those. Mostly, it features the kind of collaborations that we see taking shape more frequently, like joint development, joint manufacturing, demonstrations, and even acquisitions. This is Startup Exchange in a nutshell. If you'd like to learn more about it, happy to answer your questions over networking. And now I'd like to pass the word to Stanislas.
Thank you. Up. Thank you, Catarina. We are really happy at Cap Digital to be here. Very excited to showcase all these great startups, and maybe first thank you, Christophe and Vince, for the confidence. I'm Stanislas Buffet. I'm in charge of development in the Open Innovation program at Cap Digital. We are a non-profit organization, trusted third party to help our more than 800 members to work together and to innovate. Our vision is to be the digital innovation factory to serve environmental and society's biggest challenge. That's why we are here. That's why it was obvious for us to work with Bouygues and MIT to organize this demo day, because one of our 4 goals for the 4 next years is to reinforce employee skills to improve the competitiveness of digital company, and the future of work is in our thematics. And of course, we are focused on 4 key technologies, and AI is included of this force. Maybe one more word about Cap Digital. We are so gathering more than 800 companies with all different kind of members, players of the digital and innovative ecosystem. As you see, SME startups, large company, including Bouygues, of course, and lots of VCs, laboratories, and local authority. We are working more specifically on smart cities, retail, and health. And our main activities is to help our members to find the right counters, public counters like BPI or Caisse des Dépôts, to identify a call for a project and for money, to accelerate them thanks to our VCs and business angel, to raise money, maybe manage also open innovation program and demo day like today. So we had a great activity last year with 17 program for our corporates and local authorities. And last but not least, we manage a European project to help our members to find experimentation field and to raise money to finance a prototype. So to conclude, we are organizing the demo day with MIT and Bouygues. It was a strong opportunity for the French ecosystem. You will see 6 startups from MIT and 6 French startups that send us an application. So you see 47 applications for this call, 12 shortlisted solutions. It was quite wide in the future of work about management space, human resources, payment, and so on. And with Bouygues and MIT, we selected 6 startups. So I think now it's time we are waiting for a pitch, and maybe we will begin with Ubicept. I give you the floor, it's okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, my name is Tristan Swedish. I'm co-founder and CTO at Ubicept, and I'm excited to meet and talk to you today. So, we create computer vision for challenging scenarios. Visual information is incredibly important across almost every industry. Now, of course, cameras are, you see cameras every day. You use a camera in your pocket. But we also have eyes. We look at the world, we navigate through the world. And what it turns out is that in situations that are the most dangerous and difficult, we still have humans in these environments. And why is that? We believe one of the main reasons is that humans have incredibly good visual systems. So we essentially are putting people in harm's way just so that they can see the world, to use their eyes. We deliver a solution that works much more like our own eyes. We have a combination of software and hardware that uses a detector that creates information to be able to understand the world better. So we focus on active safety, of course, also industrial inspection, automation, and industrial process control. And we have active engagements with large manufacturers, and we have eval kits, pilots, and we are doing joint development currently. So we come from MIT. A lot of the technology inspiration comes from about 10 years of research in Ramesh's group, which I did my PhD with, and postdoc Andreas. And at MIT, they showed that they could capture light in flight in 2012. So using this incredible detector, it actually turns out that this detector was provided by Dr. Munji, which recently received the Nobel Prize, which is pretty cool. And so, Ramesh and Andreas went to him and said, hey, can we use your detector? We're going to use it in a way that's never been used before, and we're going to capture a laser pulse as it moves through a Coke bottle. And the key idea is to use detectors that are incredibly precise in time. They also use this technology to see around corners. And Andreas went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison and used this technology to eliminate motion blur and also to see around corners in real time. So we all came together, Ramesh, Andreas, his colleagues at University of Wisconsin-Madison, Mohit, and Sebastian and myself were working with Andreas and Ramesh, respectively. And we asked the question, despite incredible advancements in AI, machines can't see the way they should. Maybe we should rethink how they can see. And as I alluded to before, we asked, how can we enable machines to see at the limit of physics? And so this comes to Ubicept. So we see everything by counting photons. And this is much different than how a conventional camera would work. This allows us to create the best computer vision available or allowed by physics. And this leads to better and safety, quality, and reliability. We see the era of photography moving into the era of machine sensing. And for that, we need to build a solution from the ground up. And we use single photon sensors for that. So I'm going to skip ahead the technical bit here, but the point is that with our technology, we can perform better than a conventional imaging stack. So let me just show a few videos here. On the left, we have a video of a conventional camera running a computer vision pipeline, and on the right is our solution. So using our combination of hardware and software, we can see fundamentally better. And in this scenario, we have a camera that's mounted on a vehicle as it's moving. We could detect pedestrians and for collision avoidance purposes. But this can be applied to any scenario where you don't have control of lighting, you have vehicles moving through a scenario where you want to avoid collision. Also, better quality. We can inspect things. Conventional camera can't put enough light into small moving parts because the light will heat it up. We can use much less light and capture much more data. In this case, you can see this spring moving in this watch mechanism. And also, in uncontrolled environments, we can produce higher reliability. So no matter how good your computer vision algorithm is, how good your AI is, you cannot discern information if the quality of the input data is bad. And so by creating better quality input, we can produce a better result. So what we're looking for are partnerships today. We want to see if we can help you see better with our technology. We have pilots and joint development. We can evaluate your use case, develop solutions, and we have evaluation kits. So we can show up, capture data in your environment, and see how it could help your organization. Thank you.
Thank you. You can. Thank you, Tristan. Before calling the second startup on stage, I'd like to remind you quick housekeeping. So after the sixth presentation, we'll have the 15 minutes for Q&A. So if you have questions for the startups, please make sure to send them through Pigeonhole and include the name of the startup your question is for. And now we'll hear from Lili.ai. And this is a quick note.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Millie Tong. I'm the CEO and founder of Lili.ai. At Lili, we build solutions to help improve financial and delivery performance of major projects. A few words about myself. I used to work in Canada, Vancouver, for a major EPCM company, engineering, procurement, construction management. And that's where I figured out a problem. Project delays and claims can cost billions of euros. We all know that major projects, such as building bridges, roads, power plants, are often late. Not for Bouygues, of course. But what I didn't know, and what most people didn't know, is that it costs a lot of money to be late. The standard is 0.1% of total budget per day of delay. And in our cases, we were talking about $10 million of potential penalties. And delay is generated for lots of different reasons. For instance, bad weather, design flaws, delayed permit, etc. Then the big question is, who is responsible for which delay? And the answer often lies in years and years of project archive, meaning in the emails, in the risk register, in the correspondence. And then a human team, which I was part of, have to go and read all this documentation, looking for all the instances in which people has mentioned this delay to the client or to the subcontractor in order to separate who is responsible for which delay. And in average, we're talking about $54 million of claims, which is $54 million of penalty. That's a lot of money, and that's extremely impactful for the cash flow of any construction company. So the idea, how can AI help? It's very easy. We are searching the same topics over and over on a semantic basis. So what we have done throughout our 7 years of consulting with the largest construction company, we have figured out 150 pre-trained classifiers. Those classifiers, we can use them for two different purposes. The first purpose is on an offensive basis, is to document the claims. So to be able to figure out the story of what has happened as quickly as possible, looking through years of archive with those pre-trained classifiers. And now results gives that if in the past it took months to figure out, to do a research, now it takes seconds and minutes. And what we figured out, which was very funny, is that if we put those classifiers to look at data flows, then we figure out weak signals of risk 6 months ahead of official reporting. And the reason is because reporting goes over delay and cost overrun, whereas Lili goes about disagreement on hold, all those topics that are hidden in all the project archives. So a brief word about our technology. So what makes our technology special? So we have an ingestion pipeline that digests all the documentation from various formats and turn it into machine learning reading material. And then we apply our project model that is inherited from 7 years of consulting. This is a new way to transform the information so that we can have more complex and more rich queries. Then everything is showed on the interface to our claimers, contract managers, and portfolio managers to help them to search and to be alerted. A quick word about the team. So there's myself, our CTO, and our CSO are also professors in machine learning, applied NLP, and we have also 2 strong experts in the project management space. So our vision is to have more projects delivered with less risk. So if you are interested about talking about a case in which about how you can improve your project margin, or if you're interested to join an exciting NLP opportunity, please come to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Millie. And next up, we have John Shin from Lunewave.
All right, good afternoon. So my name is John Shin, CEO and co-founder at Lunewave. I should probably stand over here. We're a machine sensing company, and currently backed by about 12 institutional VCs and 4 strategics, including the likes of BMW. Currently, we're headquartered in Tucson, Arizona, and with satellite office in Boston and Silicon Valley. My co-founder and CTO joined us from MIT. He got his PhD in 2000 at Applied Physics Department. I myself am a Carnegie Mellon grad, but I did spend 1 summer at MIT's Media Lab. In addition to my team, we also have an incredible set of industry executives on our board. At the heart of our technology is a patented process to design as well as mass produce Bloomberg lens technology. This has been long considered the holy grail in the radar community, and it just so happens I'd like to share this with our gracious host. And would you mind? So that's our technology. In terms of applications, as all of you guys know, every automaker today, and it's been like this for a while, they're focusing a lot on ADAS and really helping people to live a safer and more productive lives, right? And the challenge is that no sensor system, so this is the eyes of the vehicle, can really address the needs across performance, reliability, as well as cost efficiency. So in this particular case, radar, great technology, has been around for a long time. Challenge really twofold. One, it does not have really good clarity or measured in resolution. Very simple analogy. Some of you guys are wearing glasses. I have really bad eyesight. I have contact lens. If I take them out, I get behind a vehicle. That's basically today's radar. Not very safe. Secondly, perhaps more importantly, in the industry, this is what we call tunnel vision. every radar on the market today, by the largest company, by all the other startups, use what's called a planar phased array. What this tunnel vision really means is that even if the data sheet says I can cover 120 degrees or 160 degrees, reality is right in front of today's radar, 15, 20 degrees. You get the distance and the resolution from your data sheet. Once you move outside that front and center, distance detection and resolution gets significantly worse. So what that really means from an automotive standpoint, OEMs needs to install 6, sometimes 9 radars all around the vehicle, even for the simple ADAS, L1, L2 applications. When you get to, L4, L5, forget about it. We're talking about more than a dozen radars to be able to address this tunnel vision problem. So this is where Lunewave comes in. As I mentioned, I shared the Lumberg antenna technology. So combining the Lumberg lens antenna plus our proprietary algorithms, we have the ability to bring to every single vehicle on the road, 50% more distance, 3 times better resolution, and the most important thing, if you walk away with one thing, is that uniform performance across the entire 360 field of view. That's the value prop. And certainly, since 2018-19, we've done quite a few joint development projects, POCs, advanced engineering projects, to showcase 4 different generations across automotive industry, commercial trucking, construction, mining, and agriculture. Given our sort of the value prop, late last year we also won 2 RFQs from 2 of the top OEMs. One of them is BMW, the other one is General Motors. I'm always excited to explore potential collaboration, partnership. Certainly we have a very flexible model, whether it's we work together to build out a product or tech licensing, you name it, so long as it makes sense and brings value to both parties. So thank you again for your time, and thank you for hosting us.
Thank you, Jim. John, I need the the clicker. And next up we have Semana. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Albert Reynaud, and I'm the founder of Semana. And what we do is we allow companies to operate smoothly in a hybrid model. So we discuss a lot about new ways of working this morning. With hybrid work, we all know with COVID, remote working has exponentially been generalized among our companies. And since then, a lot of new challenges have raising questions like, are you in the office tomorrow? Or when are you coming to the office so we can discuss this thing? Or I came to the office and no one was there. Where can I sit? I don't know where to sit because now we are operating in flex office. So looking at all these questions, all the companies are now transitioning towards what we call hybrid model and address this thinking, okay, I'm just going to set up some remote working and flex office policy and the problem is solved. And obviously we think that companies should think beyond that very simplistic model. At Semana, we believe that companies are much more than just a sum of individuals. What makes a company is much greater than this. Well-being, creativity, productivity find their sources within interactions. We talked a lot this morning about connections among people, and that's what makes a company great. And we need, within this new hybrid context, to find a way of finding again a shared purpose, a common sense, a collective purpose for all the organization. So to do so, at Semana, we provide an online solution that helps companies or employees to organize their schedules. So when should I come? When should I go to the office? So when should I be working from home within all remote working policies, but also choose their space among zones, desk booking, but also meeting room booking according to some intelligent rules. But beyond that, we bring a layer to help collaboration, to bring back a sense of belonging, to encourage collaboration and drive links and interactions among the employees. And all of this, we do this in a very integrated way, integrating with Google, Microsoft, all calendars and HR systems. So week planning, what we do is we allow employees to declare their statuses according to some smart rules, to set some policies. So this team should be on Monday to the office, and the marketing team should be remote on Thursdays within quotas, etc., etc. Beyond that, we'll help you find the best space to be within the days you are in the office with some, as I said, AI and algorithm that allocate automatically the most relevant desks. That allows you also for large companies to locate people to better collaborate and find where are my colleagues working from. And as I said, beyond that, we bring a social layer to this in order to drive interaction among the collaborators. So to do so, we offer interest-based groups so people can meet up according to other interests beyond their functional activities. We also push some matching programs, so to suggest interactions between teams that tend to see each other less and less. We keep on seeing the team we work for, but we tend to never meet the other teams that we used to see at the coffee machine. We also allow you to schedule better meetings by combining information of presence together with availabilities in calendars. And finally, we push notifications, that smart notification that allows you to better organize your week. So how about you receive on Sunday evening a notification that tells you, okay, this is how your week is looking like. On Thursday, you should be at the office, and these 5 people you tend to hang out with are in the office. How about you organize a lunch with them? Or how about the weather forecast is bad on Thursday? Why don't you just stay at home because you can't cycle there? So all these things we help you do in order to improve the way you're working. And finally, as I said, we're doing all of this in a very integrated way. We have certified apps within the marketplace of Microsoft, Google, but also Slack. We exclusive partners of most of HR systems, including ADP, Cegid, Sila, etc., in order to avoid kind of maintenance and smoother the experience. So as I said, Semana helps you organize your week in a hybrid mode by organizing remote policies, space management, collaboration, and integration. And obviously, we'd love to talk about it individually, so please come to me and ask questions.
And the clicker. Thank you, Albert. Next, we have Gelsight, please.
Hi, I'm Patrick Stack, Principal Software Engineer at Gelsight. I have over 25 years experience creating surface metrology software. I'm also a former member of the ASME B46.1 Standards Committee for the Classification of Surface Texture. The Gelsight technology was invented at MIT by Professor Ted Adelson as a novel method for digitizing touch. The world has created sensor technology to mimic human sight and human hearing, but until recently, not human touch. Well, Gelsight has done just that. It has created a tactile sensor that mimics the sense of human touch. The sensor itself is a soft elastomer covered with a thin layer of reflective paint. When that paint touches an object, it closely conforms to the shape of that object. This sensor, combined with the camera and computer vision algorithms, can be used to create a 3D model or height map of the surface. I believe the easiest way to explain how our technology works is to simply show you. And you see here, I'm moving my finger around the sensor, and it's very fast and responsive. Now I want to take a quick scan of a coin to show you the level of detail that the sensor can acquire. Simply draw a line on the UI, and I'm able to calculate a distance. So, what can this sensor do for you? Over the past decade or so, there have been tremendous advancements in AI with computer vision, but vision alone is not capable of providing a full understanding of the physical world. Combining the power of AI with the technology of Gelsight is leading to solutions for a wide range of applications. Here's a sample application where we have created an AI model by training the system how to recognize sandpaper of various grades. About 100 scans of each grade of sandpaper were taken with the Gelsight system to train the AI model. Once the model is created, a user can then simply scan any sandpaper sample and the system can recognize it. I'd also like to point out that the AI model can be created directly by the user, not necessarily a Gelsight employee. You can see here that the software indicates it's a sandpaper grade along with the confidence score. Obviously, this is just one simple example of how we can replace computer vision with tactile touch AI. We already have a wide range of products. We have our small, lower resolution sensor, the Gelsight Mini, that can be mounted on robots to simulate human touch. Our flagship product is the Gelsight Mobile. And our most recent product is the Gelsight Max. And the Gelsight Max has the highest resolution of the product line and is ideal for measuring surface roughness. In fact, it can measure surface roughness down to a value of 0.2 microns. Gelsight systems are fast, mobile, and versatile. And by versatile, I mean a few things. For one, the sensor is surface agnostic. And by that I mean the sensors work equally well on many types of surfaces, including dull or reflective surfaces that optical systems quite often struggle to measure. Surfaces such as glass, reflective metals, and black paint can all easily be measured with the Gelsight system. And two, the system is not dependent on the environment or the ambient lighting. The only lighting needed takes place internally within the sensor itself. These benefits provide the ability to take a measurement directly on the factory floor, which can save hours or possibly even days compared to more conventional inspection methods. We are looking to partner with companies that can benefit from our tactile intelligence platform. These may be companies in the aerospace, automotive, manufacturing, robotics, or many other industries. We're always interested in new applications, especially in the quality control of surfaces where the sense of human touch is very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. And to wrap up the first group, I'd like to call on stage Workelo. The other side. You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Alexandre Grenier, co-founder of Workelo. So at Workelo, we are helping companies to build employee experience through key moments. So we are focusing on onboarding, employee mobility, and offboarding. So we help companies to create an amazing employee journeys on those specific moments. So we are already working with a group on some entities, but we have also 200 clients now in 80 countries. And we help 100,000 employees per year. So this year, we double this number every year that we guide through employee journey on those specific key moments. So our mission is really simple. We help you guys to build an amazing employee experience, but by focusing on the basics. So the basics are, for us, starting with the onboarding. If you miss the onboarding and the employee experience, it will be complicated to make something good during the employee life. So why onboarding traditional is not working anymore? So we all had an experience joining a company. You don't have your computer, your manager is not here, you don't have visibility on the job on the first week, etc., etc. So manual onboarding today is not working. And it's not based on experience and also on people. And a number that is really important is that 88% of employees are not satisfied on their onboarding process. But when you look at the importance of the onboarding, it's really key for your organization. You can see the ROI behind the onboarding. A failure on the onboarding is 45k euro for each failure. And it also has an impact on the employee retention and also the productivity. So on our side, we decided to create a really simple and ready-to-use solution to help you to manage those important key moments, starting with the onboarding, and to create this amazing employee journey. So we have a SaaS platform that is 100% customizable under your brand. And we are here also as in a support to help you to create those moments. So how does it work? You have the employee journey that you can build. So we are connected to your recruitment system, and we automatically send the invitation to this onboarding journey that the employee will go through. So, for example, you have a welcoming message, you have communications before the day one, you have an amazing also admin program, so people can just upload documents, ID, etc., and we automatically pre-fill the different elements to make then the contracts automatically and to make it through also electronic signature behind. So what you can imagine in an onboarding process, we automatically set up it in the platform. And also with gamifications, because our objective is to really develop engagements through the moment that the employee is leaving. And it's really simple to set up on your side, on the HR side. So it's a timeline. You just have to drag and drop the element you want to appear in a journey, and it's automatically applied through the journey that you will send to the people. And also you have, of course, dashboards to help you to manage everything. So, and we have also something called disengagement score that permits to see which people is not involved in the onboarding process, and maybe to help him to go through this onboarding and to readjust if needed. And we don't forget the manager also on this employee experience, because the manager is really key for the onboarding. So we also permit HR people to guide the manager on the role they have in their onboarding process. So on our side, we are not focusing only on the onboarding, even if onboarding is the first moment in general where a company is starting the solution. Then we help also them to create moments and workflows around internal mobility and also offboarding. That is a thematic that is has a good trend, I would say, in the HR teams at the moment. So like hundreds of clients join us to reinvent the employee experience and by focusing on employee key moments. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. You can stay on stage. We have at least a couple of questions for each startup. So if you could please come back on stage. Is it possible to see the questions, all the questions in the screen, or at the same time? No? Okay. So let's see with the ones we have on the top. So Semana, Albert, which question would you like to address first?
I'll take the first one. So how do I convince my boss that hybrid work is the future? I guess the first good news is that you don't necessarily need to convince him, because most of the time they want to operate in hybrid mode. So 80% of managers want a hybrid mode, and 80% of collaborators and employees want hybrid mode. The question is now, where do you set the limit? And normally we see that 2-3 days per week is the average that is being kind of followed by teams. Then if you want to really convince him, you can start talking about money and just maybe highlight the fact that potentially by operating in hybrid mode, the company could reduce significantly their real estate footprint and reduce the cost of their offices, and that's sometimes a very powerful lever to encourage remote working for companies. That's one of the questions, but maybe I'll let's other answer.
Exactly, yes. Maybe you could move to Lili.ai. There's a question for you there. Don't move the questions. Can you please go up so we can see the question for Lili again? Okay.
Yeah, so the question is, how does Lili.ai manage confidential data of big projects? Well, obviously, we're dealing with very secret data of major projects, so that's obvious that it's in our DNA, I would say. So we have to separate. Data are never shared, never shared. It belongs to the client. The only thing we do is to enhance the search speed, so that people can find what they're looking for faster. And that's done through our pre-trained concepts, which come from 7 years of consulting. And it also comes from the interaction, so the active learning. And what we can offer is also on-premise options, so that people can keep the data and learn only of the interaction with the data of the client. So that's another alternative.
Okay, great, thank you. And then, Tristan, are you thinking about the question you want to answer?
Yeah, so I think the top question was, can our solution work in harsh environments such as construction sites or extreme weather? So the most important thing for visual sensors, we break this down into 3 categories. Being able to see in low light, being able to see things that are moving fast, fast motion, and dynamic range, or seeing both bright and dark things at the same time. If you can do all 3 of those things, you open up your operating domain much wider. No solution except for ours can do all 3 of these at once. So the short answer is yes. If those conditions are all present, that is extremely challenging today, and our solution can help with that.
Okay, great. Alexander, we have a question there. Do you partner with companies creating icebreakers, company games?
So inside the platform, you can set up some gamifications. So, for example, you can organize quiz, you can organize meetings between different people on specific thematics, etc. And it's possible also to use external companies to make those icebreakers. So, for example, we have a use case with Mazar. With Mazar, we have a escape game that is organized, and informations on the escape game can be found directly in the office, but also through the digital platform that they're using, Workelo. So yes, we can also mix digital and physical elements around gamifications and icebreakers.
Okay, thank you. And Patrick, we have a question for you as well. Okay.
I think there was another one if you want to, or I can answer this one here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. QA jobs to be refined or replaced. I would definitely say refined for sure. We talked to a company recently, a large machine shop, about just streamlining their process for their part inspection. Right now they have to use a contact profilometer to measure a part, which takes time. An operator has to go over and place it on the part in the right place and take the measurement. With our system, it's so much easier. They just walk over and place the sensor on there, click a button, and they get so much more data than the original system. So we're not taking workers out of the loop, but we're making their job go a lot smoother.
Okay, thank you. We have questions for Lunewave as well. Can you please scroll down? Exactly. There's that one for you.
Yeah, and then as I was presenting, I realized I did not include any other industries. So to put it simply, if any industry that requires machines to see the world around itself, whether it's robotics, drones in the air, automotive, trucking, agriculture, that's what we do. That's one. And we can operate in no light, not just low light. Mm. The second thing, which I neglected to include, is in the telecommunication. So Bloomberg lens antenna has been considered, as I mentioned, the holy grail in the antenna community. And the lens itself, we're currently executing a project with US Air Force, another one with NASA, using our antenna technology to track satellites that's moving around. And the benefits are very similar: wider field of view, one antenna be able to communicate with multiple satellites. The second thing is that we do have efforts in the 5G communication, which using the lens as part of the base station, which I totally forgot to include. So thank you for the question.
Thank you. We still have a few minutes, right? Patrick, you have another question about detecting fractures.
Can Gelsight be used to detect fractures and non-destructive testing, I believe? Well, yeah, our system is completely non-destructive. Unlike the old profilometers that sometimes scratch a surface as they measured it, which is defeating the purpose of measuring it in the first place. So our sensor does not do that. And we have a brand new feature in the software called it's automatic defect detection, which does exactly what this question is asking for. So the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. And there are lots of questions for you, Albert.
All right, so which KPI would you recommend to track hybrid proper business management? That's funny because I was with the HR, the VP of EcoVadis, which is a company, international companies, this morning, and we talked about this. So obviously, what we call ENPS is the kind of standard within the HR world to kind of get a sense of how employees are behaving within the organization. And it's true that what she was mentioning to me, which I think is relevant to this question, is that it's not because someone is not coming to the office that is unhappy or unsatisfied or not productive. And she highlighted the fact that everybody's very different in the way they approach remote working and presence in the office, whether you are IT or you are marketing, whether you are an intern or you have like 10 years or 20 years of experience in the company. So in the way you measure how people are happy within hybrid contexts, you should acknowledge that every situation are very different and not only rely on, right, she's coming to the office, that means she's happy. So we need to find what we call weak signals that allows you to say, okay, this person is actually disengaged within the organization, is not interacting the way he was before. And it's true that managers are struggling to understand these weak signals and to take action as quick as possible, because normally it's often too late. When the signals are there, it's often already too late.
Okay. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, everyone. Let's move on to the second group of pitches.